Dave Farina, it's so good to see you.
Good to see you.
I think it's been 6 years, 7 years. When did we do your podcast?
Oh, that was my short-lived podcast. It must have been 2017 or 2018. I experimented with that for a second. It totally didn't work. Gave it up.
What prompted Professor Dave Explains?
Sure, the whole origin story.
Yes.
In college I studied chemistry. In college, two things happened. I decided to major in chemistry. I was fascinated by it and I wanted to learn chemistry. But also I was playing in bands. I was a musician. I still am, but decided very emphatically, I'm going to do music with my life. So in college, I was playing in a lot of bands, just decided to learn chemistry just because I wanted to. And then all throughout my 20s, living in California, I was playing in bands. That's all I wanted to do. And I had one band that was doing pretty well. We were signed to a label and we were touring a lot and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, and we were in the van and it was this weird middle ground for like when you're in a band, you can get to a certain point where you're bringing in revenue, but that all goes to the band. So we weren't putting money in. We had gas for the van. We had money to do a music video and pay for publicity and get merch and do all the stuff that the band needs. But we weren't taking money home to pay rent. So we were in the van one day I don't know where, just talking about how we all need passive income so that we can go on the road and not worry about stuff back home. And so we all had our little ideas, and mine was, this is 2014, and I was aware that some people had been posting educational material, right? Khan Academy had been around for a little while, Crash Course, there were a few things there, and I thought, well, I can do that. Why can't I do that? I had been teaching organic chemistry all throughout my 20s. I was just teaching chemistry to pay the bills. Like my bandmates would have to bartend or whatever they were doing, and I could make a little more per hour.
That seems like such a random...
Yeah.
In my brain, it makes sense, which I know sounds weird. I'll kind of explain a little bit, but it's such a funny juxtaposition to be like rocker by night.
Sure.
Organic chemistry teacher by day. But I will say that as someone who was a music major and a psych major at the same time for a lot of my college career, there is something scientific about music, which it's part of what makes it beautiful. And then the unexpected parts is, it's...
Sure.
Yeah.
Particularly as a drummer, the math is
Oh, and you're a drummer? See, I didn't even... Okay.
Yeah,
very cool.
I grew up playing classical piano, and then I switched to drums and various other percussions in college, and then I was a drummer in most of the bands that I was in. But yeah, I had been teaching organic chemistry for about 4 years at this trade university, so I thought I'm just going to deliver my lectures to camera, just like I'm teaching class, pretty much. Just teach class to camera. And I put them online and I did a little branding, a little theme song, just to kind of make it cute a little bit. And it was shocking. It was the first thing in my life. Like as an artist, you just get so used to rejection and nobody caring about what you do. You pour yourself into this art and this music and you create something and you put it, you make records and you put it online and just nobody cares. I was absolutely taken aback by putting these organic chemistry tutorials on the internet and getting immediate, extremely positive feedback. And it's not that the channel got really big overnight. It was always very, very slow and steady growth. But I was so, it just reinforced what I was doing. I thought, okay, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to do general chemistry tutorials, but I'll do green screen and do animations and then biochemistry and biology. And so I was kind of building the channel. And then the band kind of didn't work out, as you can imagine. And so around late 2016, early 2017, I just really was like, all right, I got to put music down for a second. And I still have plans to go back to it. It's always being delayed, but I need to be successful at something.
Well, and you have to support yourself, right?
Yeah, and I had plans for, I got married in December of 2016, so we were all right, I have to plan to we wanted to have kids, so I have to be able to support a family. So I got to become successful at something. I'm not going to start again at the bottom of the ladder with music. It's not cute anymore. You can be in your 20s and be a broke musician. You can't really be in your 30s and be a broke musician. So I decided I will try to succeed at something and just really, really went for it with the channel. I put my head down and pumped out a mountain of content, and here we are.
Yeah. And what always brought you to chemistry? What made you so excited about it? What was...
I've always liked the physical sciences. I was kind of choosing between chemistry, physics, and math. And honestly, I think chemistry just came a little more easily to me. I just understood it. I would say probably or organic chemistry in particular, because at first I tested out of Gen Chem because I did well in AP Chem in high school. And then I took one, it was called equilibrium and analysis, which is analytical chemistry, which is super boring. But then I took OChem 1, like fall sophomore year, and thought, all right, this is really cool. Like we're building molecules like Legos. Like you're learning how to manipulate matter on the molecular level to build whatever molecule you want. And I always loved Legos as a kid, and it's like, it's kind of like that. And I just was like, I can't believe that humans can do this. I want to understand this. I want to learn how we build molecules. I got to understand the rules of the molecular world. I couldn't believe it.
How do you structure your videos?
So for OChem, it's easy. I taught it. I followed my syllabus that I developed for my class. And that's just from experience from teaching it, learning it, obviously.
Yeah.
And I can refer to my own syllabi, which I saved all of my material from college and referred to it, but developed that. So for OChem was the easiest because I really know how to teach this. So that's that. And then Gen Chem also was easy because that's very rigorously outlined. High school level stuff. I mean, you can really find all the learning objectives online depending on what you want to follow. And then for other stuff, I got a little bit looser, like doing biochemistry and biology and like anatomy and physiology and stuff. I kind of just work out of textbooks, and like from having learned this stuff, I remember what I think is really important to learn. You have to learn all like cell cycle stuff and cell division and all these things, and cell organelles, and I mean it's pretty obvious what the main topics are. So kind of just winged it, and then at a certain point, I started to realize that I need to be able to go beyond my expertise, because once I exhausted everything adjacent to chemistry, so that's biochemistry, biology, I did astronomy, I did math all the way through like linear algebra because I was pretty good with math, but I kind of hit the limits everywhere. And so then I started hiring writers. So that's really the only thing that I consistently outsource. Nowadays when I'm doing tutorials on archaeology or philosophy or history or psychology as well, I'm hiring people in the field.
Other experts.
Yeah.
I'm assuming people utilize your content to help them through school and to graduate and
Definitely.
do whatever they're doing. There's going to be a point where you're like, well, I've done those things. Like, do you ever rehash old content? Have there been that many new discoveries? I would assume so. No,
I mean, not really. What kids are learning in high school and early undergrad chemistry has not changed in 10 years or so.
Yeah. Do you still find it like as interesting as you used to, or do you feel yourself getting a little burnt out on the content?
I kind of never have a chance to get burnt out because I'm always moving on to new topics. And when I'm producing the content for topics that I don't know much about, it's kind of fun because I learn a lot. I didn't really know about archaeology and history and all these other topics, so I get to kind of learn for a living. Certainly not all of it sticks, but as I'm producing the content, I'm working with the script and I'm looking for the images that I want and constructing the frame and everything. And some of that absorbs, obviously. That, and then also the debunking content keeps me very, engaged in.
Tell me how you got into that and how, because that's definitely we would call spicy online.
It's pretty spicy. Yeah. It's hot topic stuff. I sort of have developed these two parallel followings for the two types of content that I make. And there's some cross-pollination, but not that much. There's people that still to this day don't really know that I do the other thing.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
Aren't they on the same channel?
Yeah, they're all on the same channel.
Okay, I was like, maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah, algorithmically, I just don't know what's going on in terms of, like, if you're subscribed to me, you're not getting shown all of my uploads.
Oh,
for
interesting.
sure. You have to like go to my channel and see what I'm doing. But the way I got into it, it was pretty innocuous. I was wrapping up an astronomy series. Astronomy is maybe my favorite subject. I just think I'm so fascinated by space stuff. And I thought it would be fun it was just Astro 101, freshman year or whatever. And I wanted to finish it up with two little videos on astrology and flat Earth. And I thought I was going to get a lot of hate for the astrology one. Didn't really make too many waves with that. But the flat Earth one, I didn't look up anything that any flat earthers say. I just had heard that they existed. So I made a little video about how we know it's not flat, kind of recapitulating stuff from, ancient history. Anyway, I put that video out, and the day that it went out, it went to the top search result for the keyword. And so there were these guys, the Globe Busters, that took the video and were like, we're going to do a live stream on this video and tear it apart. Stupid shill, Professor Dave, whatever. And this is 2019. At the time, I was not used to people talking about me on the internet. Now it's every day. It's every minute of every day. It just from every angle, everybody is talking, not everybody, just I'm getting attacked constantly on a daily basis.
How do you deal with that? I mean,
it's very irritating.
But yeah, because
it only affects you to an extent as much as you let it, right?
Yes.
Because it kind of doesn't matter. And you can develop your own relationship with how you engage with it. I engage with it more than other creators, honestly. I kind of go in there in the trenches.
Is that how you are in life too, would you say?
I'm pretty confrontational. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't start beef with people out of thin air, but if people are rude to me, I'm rude back. It's actually something that I'm pretty proud of because I was very non-confrontational as a child, and I just kind of took crap from everybody. And then I don't really know what happened to me around college age. I just manifested this transformation. I just kind of was like, I don't really like who I am. I want to be a different kind of person. And I just grew up a little bit. I became kind of more of that person that nope, bullshit. Calling you out.
Don't like this. Stop talking to me that way.
Yeah, you can't talk to me that way. Just a little bit more, standing my ground and everything. So I definitely do that online. But it was this flat earth thing where just they did this live stream, and so then I was like, well, this won't do it all. I'll show them, And I did a little 45-minute piece tearing apart their live stream, and it's to this day the most viewed video on my channel. It's got 15 million views or something. And so I did that. It was the first time I'd done any debunking content. It's the first time I'd done any long form content. And I was just like, okay, this was really fun. I'm really good at it. And people love it. So
the stars aligned.
Yeah. I did a few more flat earth debunks and then thought, all right, we needed a more valid target here. Yeah. There's not that many flat earthers, so I started doing electric universe and anti-vaxxers and creationists, and then it just now it's a free-for-all. Whatever I want, and some of it, I'll admit, is a little bit clickbaity. Lately I've been doing the whole Terrence Howard thing. Everybody is most people can see that he's absolutely insane and has
tell
no
people
idea.
Who don't know what Terrence Howard, because I happen to know, but I don't know if everybody will know.
So Terrence Howard is a pretty famous actor. He was in I think he had an Oscar nomination.
I think so,
actually. So,
recently, I feel like
no, it was 15 years ago or something. I think it was Hustle and Flow.
Yes.
But he's
recognizable.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people would recognize his face and his voice. He's been in a bunch of movies, and he's certainly a complete narcissist, and is starting to be iced out of Hollywood just because he's completely insufferable. And so he has taken to pretending that he's the greatest genius of all time, has revolutionized physics, chemistry, mathematics, really, really pretends to be the Einstein level genius.
And even pulled out a molecule thing that he created, or what?
It's this little shape that he first of all, he turned it into a drone, but he pretends that, or he paid someone to make a drone out of it. But he pretends that it solves all of these longstanding problems in theoretical physics and stuff. But when he goes on podcasts like Joe Rogan and other types of podcasts like that, and it's just word salad. I mean, he really truly is just taking words, often mispronouncing them, doesn't know what they mean, stringing them together in a nonsensical way. And so this was about a year ago, on his first Joe Rogan appearance, I did a piece on that, and it kind of blew up. It got a several million views really quickly. And so I'm just bringing that up as an example of it's kind of low-hanging fruit. Not a lot of people fall for that. It's really more of an entertainment value thing. People enjoy watching that and laughing at it.
I think also, unfortunately, some people just don't know what to believe. They're like, what is this guy saying? It sounds kind of crazy, but if you don't I have no history in physics really, other than passing it in school and doing the class I took, but when I listen to him, I'm like, well, it doesn't make sense to me, but I'm like, maybe he knows, you know.
There should be other signs, other contextual cues that lead even the science illiterate to realize that he has no idea what he's talking about. But yes, I am sympathetic to the fact that if you know zero things about physics, listening to him talk, use that jargon, and listening to a physicist use that terminology, you may not be able to tell the difference, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, there is use to it. I mean, there are people who kind of were like, man, I don't know. Like, I heard him talk. He was so passionate. Like, okay, thank you for explaining it to me. Most people are just kind of laughing at it. But then it's those low-hanging fruit all the way to, you know, higher level targets. And I'm starting to get a little more political, like Trump's policies and, you know, RFK and, you know, anti-vaxxers and just things that are very much in the zeitgeist and that people in large numbers are falling for. Whatever the worthy target is, that's what I go for.
And you do comment back with people.
Yeah, I get in there.
And how does that go? As someone who is like, I don't.
Oh, it upsets a lot of people. There are definitely people on the internet that often creators for views sort of remove all of the context of my interactions and then just make videos about how mean I am. Right? He's so mean. He doesn't debunk anything. He's just like a toxic guy. And it's like, but people who are frequent viewers of mine understand that my whole ethos is I treat people the way they deserve to be treated. I speak to people the way they deserve to be spoken to. And so trolls come at me with troll energy. They don't watch the content. And I mirror their troll energy back. I even mirror their language. Like, I'll call them beta cucks and stuff like that, right? It's just, I take what they're trying to do and reflect it back to them just because I think somebody needs to do that, right? They go around on the internet with this toxicity and it's just consequence free because it's the internet, right? But so someone pushing that energy back to them, I think it's an interesting experiment, right, to see what they do with it. And they just completely unravel because when you press them over and over and over again, where am I wrong in this video? Where am I wrong in this video? Where am I wrong in this video? They can't do it, right? They didn't watch the video. They don't know what's going on in the video. And then obviously the charlatans that I debunk are not happy about it. The people who follow them are not happy about it. So they make response videos. It's very interesting because now almost 4 million subscribers, I'm at a size for my channel where I can't comment on anything without it starting something.
Yeah.
Because I'm a large channel. Whoever I debunk, they will respond. Their minions will infest my channel. It's going to happen every time. And I'm now
so you're just
putting
constantly dealing with it.
Yeah, constantly, because I'm putting out a debunk a week now. And so like recently I poked the hornet's nest of this pseudo-archaeology fad. Do you know about this? Like Graham Hancock, and then he has these acolytes, and it's just people who pretend archaeology is wrong and archaeologists are corrupt liars and they're hiding all the evidence of the Atlantis and all this other crap, and there's stuff hidden under the pyramids and
what?
Like, yeah, and you would be shocked how many people engage in this stuff because there are creators that base their entire identities around lying about archaeology and then promoting these other alternate narratives based on absolutely zero evidence. And
wow, you live in such a different space than I do.
Yeah, it's weird. That's just one hornet's nest, and then the next week I've got all the transphobes furious about me just because I try to explain the science behind sex versus gender identity, or I try to explain the difference between them. And so then they all make content about me, and then I make my response videos, and then their viewers infest the channel. It's constant.
So obviously we're different people. I respond differently. I know myself, I'm too soft for that.
Yeah.
How do you manage the hate?
Yeah.
How do you manage the hate?
Sure.
Yeah.
So fortunately, I think I'm fairly emotionally detached, which has its pros and cons. My wife can tell you about all the cons.
I was just going to say, was your wife have to? Yeah. Because usually it doesn't only happen in one part of our life.
Right. Yeah. So those would be the cons. And then the pros are that this stuff runs off my back a little more easily than I think most people. So because in the end, it's just silly. It's just dumb people yelling at me. And then the other aspect is that fortunately on YouTube, unlike Twitter and these other areas, like I have complete control over my channel. So if somebody's incessantly and repeatedly trolling me, I can block them.
True.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not
a democracy. This is a dictatorship.
This is
really.
my space, right? I don't have to let anyone come defecate on my lawn if they want to, and so free speech. You put a fence up, free speech. No, this is my property.
Yeah.
This is my channel. Right.
Did you build this? No. Last time I checked, you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I try not to go to other channels and start a bunch of stuff. I just kind of stay on my channel. And obviously there's just thousands of comments per day. And if someone's being really incessantly trolling, it's fine. Block them. No big deal.
Yeah, I'm so impressed. I feel like you should teach a class. Masterclass by Dave Farina, how to deal with trolls.
Be more emotionally detached.
Has that been something that you've done in life in general? Like you said, like all of a sudden you felt like you're kind of, you didn't use this word, so I'm not putting it in your mouth, but like kind of bullied or like putting up with shit you didn't want to.
Yeah.
And then at a certain point you're like, no. Was that switch when this happened where you're like, no, I'm just gonna.
It was just kind of one piece of many. I mean, I think just in college, part of it was drug use. I definitely, I became a stoner right around college age, and just going from like not having experience with drugs to being in a drug state often or most of the time, and just kind of like became so was able to view myself objectively for the first time, kind of, because you kind of go through life just taking who you are for granted, and not always like thinking about who you are, why you're that way, or is that genetic, or how much of it is a product of like how you were raised, other environmental factors, and also not necessarily thinking all the time about how you come off to other people. And so for the first time, being stoned all the time and doing hallucinogens and stuff, got really this very third person perspective, like looking back at myself was like, okay, here are things about myself I don't like. Here are things I do like. I'm going to be this kind of person. I kind of just, as an experiment, this is the kind of person that I want to be. And I'm going to just pretend I'm that person and we'll see what happens.
So you don't do drugs anymore?
Not much.
I'm not judging you, by the way.
A little bit.
0%.
I part of it is that it's not really compatible with having little kids and stuff.
Fair.
But also just throughout my 20s and then certainly throughout my 30s, I just very slowly, I just don't really enjoy the drug state anymore.
Yeah.
And so...
it is a disconnect from self.
Yeah. It's not even that. It's more just actual physical discomfort. Like when I'm high these days, I'm just like kind of uncomfortable in a way that I wasn't when I was like 22. And then it's also just I'm in a different place in life. Like when I was in like college for sure, and definitely even more so like in my early 20s, like living in San Francisco, doing very little other than playing in bands. Mm-hmm. I can get high every day and we rehearse and like write music and then go drink and stuff. And it's just like I had very little responsibility nowadays in order to maintain the amount of income that I have in order to support. I have 3 other mouths to feed. I pretty much just work. So I try to have some fun, but it's just, my lifestyle now compared to 15, 20 years ago,
it's like night and day.
It's just completely unrecognizable. I don't have the space. I don't have the bandwidth to like be, smoking pot or tripping on anything. And I don't know, some people, I have friends that are as busy as me that microdose. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that's interesting. And like,
I have a lot of friends that do that too.
Ultimately don't try it because I just don't want to, but like, I don't know. It sounds interesting. Some people could do it. Yeah.
Do you think I don't know if this is true about you in life. Are you very black and white with things? Like I'm going to do something or I'm not?
Maybe. I don't know. I suppose. I can't think of an example where I'm in the middle on anything.
I mean, it does sound like you maybe titrated down drug use as like your life got more and more professional or busier, or there was more asked of you.
Yeah. I mean, I'll still, like if I go see a show or if I go, I don't know. I mean, there are times where I'll smoke a little bit, but it's just not something, I don't have any at home. I don't think about it. It's just, I have friends that still smoke daily. So if I'm hanging out with them and we're doing a fun thing, I might a little bit, but.
So you work constant?
Pretty much, yeah.
How has that been for you? How's that for your well-being?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely burnt out. It's definitely not ideal. I mean, the negative aspect of, I mean, first of all, it's completely changed my brain. I'm now a workaholic. I'd always had a lot of discipline and been able to work hard, but in the past 10 years, I kind of can't stop working. Whenever I'm not working, if I take a break to like hang out with my kids or if we're on a little trip or whatever, there's a part of my brain that will never stop thinking about.
It's always like running through like what's in the news, what's happening.
The to-do list and like what I got to get this content done or whatever. It's very, very hard for me to disengage from the workflow. But the thing, like there's a lot of positive mental health effects of my current situation because I'm finally, for the first time in my life, I would say successful. And it's a thing that I built, which gives me a lot of pride and also a lot of freedom in the sense of like, I absolutely can take a week off if I want to, and my brain will do its workaholic, whatever it is, but still I can do it. We can go on a trip. I can afford the trip. I can go on the trip. So I get to provide for my family. I get to give things to my family that they want and need. I get to engage in other, fun things if I can take the time. So just the positive mental health effects of finally being in that place in my life, as opposed to 10 years ago being flat broke. Yeah. That kind of cancels out or potentially even outweighs, because it's like, that's life. Like most people in human history have just toiled until they die. So it's not new. I'm not like unique in my my situation, but
it's still, I was just curious because I know as a creator, the work never stops unless we want it to, right? You can keep creating. And I was just curious, like if you have a team that supports and so you can unplug or.
Not really. Just the style of content I make, it works because I make it. So fortunately, the writing can be outsourced to a certain degree. Yeah. And so I take as much advantage of that as possible. Certainly for tutorials, they're now probably 70-80% outsourced, just because sometimes I'll be like, if I'm doing inorganic chemistry or something, that's a series I'm working on, I can write those. There are some topics that I'm still writing, but for the most part, the tutorial writing is outsourced. And then now, even for the debunks, I'm in touch with professionals in certain fields. Sometimes even professionals in a field will bring an individual to my attention and say, this person needs to be debunked, I'll help you. And so they can provide me with, they can take certain interviews or something and provide me with timestamps and rebuttals.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'll use that as a skeleton for a script that I can then,
put your thoughts together
put it more in my voice and add other things to it. But so that cuts the writing, the time for writing a debunk script maybe in half. So that helps. And so that I can do, but unfortunately the post-production, it doesn't work. I've tried before to outsource it. It's worked a couple of times. I had somebody animate my economics content.
You animate?
Yeah, I mean, and by animate, I mean I put it in After Effects and I place the text and imagery.
But still,
yeah. Sometimes there's a little bit of motion, but it's it's very, 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 very simple. There's nothing complex about it. But yes, I do it because my content works because of my sense of aesthetic and the way that I shape the frame and the way I present the information. I've tried 2 or 3 times to get other people to do it. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't hit the same way. So.
Well, sometimes I feel like people can't see what you can see, right? Like you have an idea of what you want it to look like, and sometimes that can't be created by somebody else. Yeah. So this is the prison, but
I've gotten more and more and more efficient with it. I mean, I really fly 3, 4, 5 times faster than I did even 5 years ago. It's really, really rapid. Sometimes I try to give myself a little break and say, all right, you wanted to have this upload schedule, just push these back a week, push these ones back 2 weeks. Just take a second, and then other times I want more money this month and try to pump out more of the content. And but like you said, that's the thing is like I can always work more and end up putting more content out.
Do you work late nights, early mornings? Like
everything. So I wake up, help my wife get the kids in the car to go to school, but once they're gone, I'm working pretty constantly until about 4 when they come back. I might go exercise or something or do an errand or whatever, but pretty much 8 to 4 pretty much. Try to kind of like do some stuff with the kids and like cook dinner and everything, and then when they all go to bed, 8:30, 9:30, go back and work until I'm nodding off.
Wow.
Which
what does your
anywhere
wife
between
do
12 and 2.
for work?
She's a psychologist. She's very dramatically reduced her caseload. So she is seeing just a handful of people. So for the most part, just kind of, mainly in charge of the kids and then whatever else she can fit in the day,
Yeah. I'm sure she does have a lot to say about your emotional disconnect.
Yeah, no, she would. You should have her in here.
I know. We should have brought her in with you. Yeah, because it is interesting when we get ourselves on a treadmill and we feel like, oh, I have to keep doing this. And if it is, it is the way we all support ourselves. So it's a tricky, like, handcuffed situation.
Yeah.
But do you enjoy debunking content the most?
Yeah, that's the most fun. It's fun. It's fun to bully the bullies, you know? And I was a small kid.
I was just going to say, do you feel like this is like, vengeance is mine finally?
There's probably, I'm not actively thinking that way, but subconsciously I'm sure there's...
I'm going to say somewhere in there, little Dave is like, you fucking get him.
You're going to get it, man. Yeah, it's just that there are these toxic people on the internet that just distort reality and take advantage of people and just measurably make society worse. And I'm just kind of there, just like, no, just smack them around a little bit. And so that's kind of the point with, like, there are definitely a lot of haters out there that just, oh, Dave is toxic. It's like, look, in the movies or in real life, if there's a bully beating up everybody and an even bigger guy goes and beats up the bully, everybody cheers.
Yeah.
That's what you should be doing right now. I am the one that is policing this stuff. I'm not the only one, but sadly there are too few people like me, and I do it arguably the most aggressively. I have colleagues, debunking colleagues, that all kind of like, yeah, Dave he's the harshest, but it has to be done. Especially things that are negatively affecting public health. Children die. This is not something that we're messing around with. For Terrence Howard, okay, whatever. He's just he's just mentally ill, but there are people, and then Christian theocrats trying to take over the government and the rise of fascism, and we're like, there's a lot at stake here. And I'm sorry if I offend anyone with my language while people die. Get your priorities straight. That's what I want to get everyone to understand.
Because you get into such heated debates, let's call them that, because that's really what it is. Do you find yourself up against people who maybe threaten your family, or that you ever feel concerned, like what I would call like maybe a deranged or dangerous individual?
Yeah, a little bit, a lot less than you'd think, but some. I get very occasionally creepy text messages, or I don't know how they get my number, or my wife's too. Sometimes it's really weird. Physical threats.
Wow.
How do you burn your house down, whatever, something like that.
Does that, and that's, again, it's just like water off a duck's back?
Not really. The first time it happened, I brought it to the police station. It was like, look, here's this guy, I'm going to burn your house down. And they put my address to make sure I know that they know where I live. And like, are you going to do something? And I'm like, you're not going to do anything.
Yeah.
But, because I think that they know from their perspective that 99.999% of the time these are empty threats.
But that doesn't make you feel any better.
No, it doesn't. I would think that, like, can you just like look up the phone number and like see who it is? Like,
maybe go call on them and be like, hey.
Yeah. In fact, one time I got a buddy who's former LAPD, and he knew somebody that could look up numbers. And so the last time it happened, like, I want to say like 6 or 9 months ago, I was like, can you look this up? And he like gave me like physical locations, and they were actually kind of east of here in like, I don't know, Riverside or something. Okay. And I was like, all right, that's like a little closer than I'd like to hear. But so yeah, there's just not much you can do. You attract this much attention, or the amount of attention that I attract, because the thing is that like there are a lot of other very prominent debunkers, but it's just that I go after so many things. I'm just all over the map with it. That all
You're
of these
poking all
of the beehives, and all of the bees are swarming at me at all times. So, but it's a concern, I'm not gonna lie, and for my wife even more so. She's like, chill out, relax a little bit. And it's like, I have to weigh certain things. Like, it is a public service, and I feel tremendous duty to do the things that I do, especially when they're of concern to public health. Because I don't see enough people doing it. I don't see enough scientists and medical professionals doing it. There are some.
Why do you think we don't see as many?
Because I think they just, number one, they don't have a lot of time to do it. They have jobs. This is what I do. This is my job.
True.
I don't do research. I don't teach anymore. I sit around and think about how to explain science to people, how to expose charlatans, et cetera. Number two, may not have the skill set. Most of them probably don't. Number three, don't want to deal with this crap that comes with it because it can get really bad. I mean, to an extent, you just kind of get used to it, right? I mean, you just grow accustomed to it. That and the emotional disconnect for me. But it's
do you think
like,
it's dissociation? Do you just like kind of feel out of self, or you?
No,
just
it's my personality. I've always been just like a little. I think I'm just like maybe a blip on the autism on the.
Oh, so there's a little bit of that disconnect already.
Bit of that.
Yeah.
My son is autistic. He got recently diagnosed, and like me and my dad and my sister are all like a little bit.
Isn't it? I don't know if you've heard this, but a lot of people will say like when someone gets diagnosed, then everybody else around them and their family is like. And you start like reading the books, you're like, oh, I kind of do that too. Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, it's hard. So I definitely have OCD, and my son also has OCD on top of being autistic. So, and my dad has OCD as well. And it's just like a lot of behaviors you can remember and like try to contextualize. And, I don't know. It's just kind of always been my personality. I definitely had poor social skills. I was always a little bit behind in terms of social skills and things like that. So it's just, I just don't think it hits me as like my wife would not be able to handle it. Like she would.
We're
crumble.
feelers.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah.
So I can kind of take it, block a lot. It's definitely gotten worse lately. And so I've gotten more trigger happy with the blocking lately just because it's like, look, I don't care. I don't have to deal with this if I don't want to. Yep. So yeah, that and the fact that like, I'd say the most irritating part about it, honestly, is that there's kind of no way to win because what happens is that so you attack these you expose these people, they send their minions to try and change the narrative by putting all these comments on your channel. So you have a few options, right? You could just block them all and delete everything if you want to do that. Yep. For a long time, I was getting in the trenches and I still do to an extent, and just like, where am I wrong? Where am I wrong? Where am I wrong? And treating them with the same disrespect that they treat me.
Yeah, like mirroring their.
Exactly, mirroring their toxicity. And so then, then what happens when you do that? People take your replies out of context and make videos about how mean you are. And people it opens up other avenues of people to misinterpret like who you are and what your intentions are. And then it's time consuming. Or you can just let it all happen and then they will successfully change the narrative, and people who go to the video who have no context and have fallen for that but are open to looking at this other side of the story, look at the comments and go, oh, a lot of people are saying other stuff, so maybe he's not, you know what I mean? So it's just, there's kind of no way to fully win with it. So I think that's why I've gone a little bit like I've recognized the futility to an extent of getting into the trenches, and now I'm a little bit more trigger happy with the blocking. Yeah, because it's like, look, especially with the transphobes, like it's just a couple years ago I did just a standalone piece on trans people, and Matt Walsh at the Daily Wire did a response video to it and just totally butchered it, like just misrepresented it, ignored all of the points that he would begrudgingly agree with. Like it was just a response hit piece as fodder for, he just needs this constant churning out the content. And that harassment, like the harassment I get on a day-to-day basis that's too much for other people that I can kind of handle, doesn't hold a candle to what, for about a 2-week period after he put that out, every 5 seconds for 2 weeks, pedo groomer. That's their go-to.
That's
right?
My biggest frustration with arguments nowadays, is that people will use words they don't understand the meaning of, or that don't even apply, or both.
Oh, there's no application. It's me just in a rigorously scientific way explaining the biology behind the suite of characteristics that designates an individual's sex, as well as relatively more recent research within the past 20 years identifying areas of the brain that are associated with gender identity, explaining what it is, how they are not the same thing, how when they don't align, that's what a trans person is, right, et cetera. Just explaining science. That was the only period where that was too much for me to handle. So I turned off comments on a couple of videos where I was like, no, I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah, that's too much to take. And especially like, if you're trying to manage comments, or at least engage in conversation. Sometimes I feel like that's the reason that there's two reasons I don't engage with shitty comments. Well, three. One is it takes too much time.
Yep.
Two is that a lot of times they're not up for it's not really a conversation.
No.
They're making a statement based on not facts.
They're not here to learn something.
No. And I know through research that to change someone's mind, that's not the way he's going to go about it.
Yep.
And then three, I think it's because it's like, I don't need to hurt my own feelings because I have more shit to do.
Yeah. It's like, for me, my thought process behind getting in the trenches consistently was that, look, this person, I want they're definitely not going to admit that they're wrong, but I want to hit them over the head with the realization that they have nothing to say, that they didn't watch the video, they have no idea what I said, they have nothing to respond to, they have right, and so just repeatedly, where am I wrong? Where am I wrong? And often insulting them. If they insulted me, I'll insult them back. But just repeatedly insisting that they rub up against the knowledge that they didn't watch the video, they have no idea what I said, and they have nothing to respond to. And it's very hilarious and cartoonish to watch them keep trying to invent new ways to reply without saying anything. Like, oh, you're mad, look how triggered you are, like this kind of stuff. Like, and it's just, where am I wrong? Where am I wrong? And so they'll never, they'll never like change course in that interaction. But my thinking was, they have to go to bed that night and reflect on the day and think, wow, like, he just really kept reminding me that I didn't watch the video. I have no idea what he said. And like, maybe that can be some kind of a seedling of something, some kind of internal realization,
Yeah.
Because it's just the stubbornness, the willful ignorance and the stubbornness here. It's really a disease. And whatever I can do to just like kind of smack some sense into people, I'm going to try to do it. And
you're like the tough love father of the internet.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I want them to know how pathetic they are so that they can change.
I definitely get my fair share of random stuff like that where I'm like, you clearly don't know what you're talking about. But I don't engage because I don't think I'm like your wife.
Most people don't. I'm weird.
No, but I think it's like you have a weird superpower, And part of me is like, I think it is that little emotional disconnect.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I gave a commencement speech the other day and cried because I was so excited for everybody.
Nice.
I'm like, I'm not even graduating and I'm so excited for you. I could even get teary just thinking about it. I feel like for me, that's like a whole nother superpower of its own.
It's the opposite. Yeah.
Yes. Which made me think, and this is the therapist in me, I apologize. I don't usually try to get into therapist brain, but that's why you and your wife are a good match.
I think so.
Because that's my therapist who say this about Sean and I, that like, and I agree with this, and there's research to support it. We could totally nerd out, but the best relationships happen when weaknesses meet strengths.
Yeah.
Because if you both have the same strengths, then those weaknesses become breakers.
Yeah,
like
become problematic.
Like we're not neither one of us is good at managing money. Well, fuck, like that's
you're gonna be broke and homeless.
Yes, and
Yeah, no, really down the line. I think with my wife, I think what's important is that we are completely ideologically aligned. We think the same things are important and good or bad, etc. But like you said, our strengths and weaknesses are completely opposing. So we can go about nurturing that ideology and acting in that way. I'd say the majority of it is just a sense of duty because I see what's going on in society and it is it's affecting humanity negatively. Like I'm truly worried for the future of humans. Like I'm not completely convinced we're going to make it. And in fact, I've grown more pessimistic as of late as to just where we are politically, right? Just as a species. And like, I think I'm uniquely suited for the task, so I feel compelled to do it. When I see somebody that's lying about a particular scientific field and there's just nothing on the internet to combat it, it's like there needs to be something there in that search, ideally at the top of the search. So there are a handful of figures like that I'm still kind of just known as like the only guy who went and did that, took care of this one, check that one off. And I still get emails. Big
list on your wall.
Yeah, totally. I still get email. There's this one guy who just has this like, just pretends to understand astrophysics and like planetary science, and literally has built an apocalypse camp in Colorado, and like people are going there and like selling their houses.
I've heard of this.
Yeah, I'm not even going to say his name because I don't want people to go look him up. But nobody was debunking this guy, and so like I did a piece really exposing everything, all the Kickstarter scams and like just the really seedy stuff. And I still get, that was like 4 years ago. I still get emails of like, man, like I started falling for this thing hard, and then I started a video, and then I didn't sell my house and go live in this apocalypse camp. And so I'm like,
wow, yeah. Well, we have to admit that we can be influenced.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, totally.
Like I bought shit off TikTok shop. I shouldn't buy off, I don't need to have any, I don't need to buy that. That just shows how easily we can be influenced. And so I think there is something really important with what you're doing when it's like, I've joked with my friends like offline about like, are we raising critical thinkers? Because we really need to have more critical thinkers. Like you need to be able to think for yourself. And like because even Sean and I, when we watch the news, if I watch every news outlet, if I do MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, it's sometimes difficult to get the right information.
It's nearly impossible, and that's by design.
Which is super frustrating.
Yeah.
And I think for anybody out there, any critical thinker out there, like, well, this is like, it's crazy. Because it used to just be, you just watch it and it was what was happening. There's no slant. I mean, and maybe there was, and I was just too young to.
There was, but yeah, it's not like it is now. Like we're experiencing complete epistemological breakdown. It's just, and it's what's crazy is the degree to which it is institutional. Like it's like what's coming out of the White House. Like presidents lie, all right? Yeah, every president has like lied a little bit or distorted what's the motives behind foreign policy and stuff like that. Of course, but it's just. Everything the guy says is a lie. He lies like he takes a crap. Like it's nothing to him. He just says anything, and that has had a ripple effect on the entire media landscape. It's just, and I don't want to blame Trump exclusively. It's a trend that we've been seeing over the past 10, 20 years.
Yeah, I feel like since social media kind of has like sped up things
just
a little bit.
Since the internet in general, but it's really ramped up lately, and he's exacerbated it. It's just, I mean, it's called the post-truth era. We are in the post-truth era where anybody can create their own reality, insist that it's true, and then a certain swath of the public will accept that reality and act as though it is true. And for everything that's going on in politics, everything that's going on in science, you're dealing with a huge amount of the population, sometimes the majority of the population, that knows a thing that's wrong. And it's really hard to undo that.
It's sometimes scary to stand up and be like, hey, whoa, wait.
Yeah.
Because it's met with such
hostility.
Rage.
Yeah.
And it almost seems, the therapist to me is like, the amount of anger that people feel these days feels very misdirected. And like no one's checking themselves to be like, hey, where's this coming from? And like, why am I thinking like this? Why am I acting like this? And because I know like this sounds really silly, but for a lot of people, you just need to get a good night's sleep. Like for the love of God, have a good night's sleep and take a shower and eat a meal. And I swear to God, you feel different. But some people are just so emotional and get online and spout. And that doesn't account for all of it, obviously.
I mean, again, it's by design. I mean, people are reacting to increasing economic disparity, and that's not going anywhere. So, I think that a good night's sleep and a shower definitely helps, but they still wake up not being able to figure out why they can't get by,
Totally. I was talking about like more emotional regulation.
Emotional stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's why a huge component of the debunks is not just to go, all right, this person is a bad faith actor. Here's how what they're lying about and how we know they're lying. I'm also trying to get to the bottom of why they're saying it, right? Who's directing this?
Yeah. What's coming down the pike for you? Like, is there anything, what are your new videos you're working on? Anything exciting?
There's a lot of tutorial series that I'm continuing. I did the pseudoarchaeology one, and one of the little minions of the Graham Hancock guy did a reply, so I'm going to reply to that guy. And then I have
That's some anti-trolling to do.
Oh yeah, no, I just got to really like bury the little minions. The main guy, he's got his Netflix show and stuff. It's too hard to. I mean, I think that piece really showed a lot of people what a fraud he is, and so I don't know. Maybe
so you're like, my work is done.
Yeah, I mean, but then he has all the little minions that then they kind of activate. They're like I call them like the Bebop and Rocksteady to the Shredder of the main guy.
Yes.
And they're buffoons, so they just fumble everything. I've taken to really commenting on like an example. So like Brett Weinstein and Tucker Carlson did a thing. I didn't watch it, but I'm gonna like watch it on 1.5 speed, take notes, pump out a little video on that. Michael Knowles from Daily Wire interviewed Andrew Wakefield. This guy's still around.
Who is that?
He's the guy who started the whole vaccine to autism link.
Oh, the guy from Orange County, California, right? Isn't
No, he's from Britain.
why did I think it was an Orange County guy?
He, I mean, there's probably one there too, but he's like the OG, like what, penned the fraudulent study in the Lancet, which was retracted, and just, it's just never gone away. No matter how many studies people put out showing conclusively that there's no link between vaccines and autism, it's still there. RFK says it too. I mean, I got to do, I'm planning one on RFK. Ashton Forbes is this other guy. I have kind of my list of like the targets,
things in the ether that you're
that
aware
are coming up, and I've really ramped up the frequency of those. I'm doing one a week now, as opposed to I think 1 or 2 a month I used to be doing.
How many videos do you put out in a week?
3 to 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dave, you got to take vacation, man.
I have a couple coming up.
Okay, good.
Little short ones.
Okay.
2 days after my kid has his preschool graduation, we'll go a couple nights to the beach. And
okay.
In August, we got a little 5-day up the coast thing, little stuff.
Okay. I was like, that's a lot of work. Thank you for sharing. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you as well.
And also keep doing the work you're doing. It's
I will.
The internet's so cool, and I just love hearing, all the different things you're doing.
Yep.
And the debunking was fascinating to me because that when I first met you, that wasn't even on.
No, I wasn't even doing it yet.
But
yeah.
it has, and now here we are.
Here we are.
You're the superhero coming in.
I'm doing my best.
Well, take care and thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.